Here to talk about the Elite Eight of the National Football League, a couple of our elite NFL analysts, Lomas Brown, as well as Christian Fourier, joining us here on Sportscenter. And guys, let's begin with the NFC and that Green Bay-San Francisco matchup. Aaron Rodgers, he grew up a 49ers fan. Colin Kaepernick grew up a Green Bay Packers fan. Which quarterback's boyhood team will emerge as the victor in this one?
Well, I'm going to go with San Fran. I think San Fran, look, Coach Harbaugh, you give him 2 weeks to prepare for a team, and I know they weren't really thinking about the Minnesota game. They were more thinking about Green Bay as a team. But you give him and his defense 2 weeks to prepare. He's going to come up with a game plan for it. I think Colin Kaepernick is playing a lot better, has been getting better and better, and you can see it. The offensive coaches for the San Francisco 49ers have taken the reins off this young man. His completion rates downfield have gone up. He's throwing the ball farther downfield. So to me, that means that the coaching staff trusts him a lot more. And the other thing with Green Bay, they're only 4-4 on the road this year. So I love San Fran.
Oh, and also Colin Kaepernick did not play the first time these two teams met, and San Francisco won that game. But I tell you what, it's all about the defense of San Francisco and how they can get after Green Bay's quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. This is an offensive line that gives up a ton of sacks. And I know Green Bay has all the receivers back, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to throw the ball because this is a physical, fast, lateral-moving defense that can get to those receivers. And the best thing about San Francisco's defense is once they put their hands on you, you're not getting away. No yards after contact for this team.
But they may not have Justin Smith, certainly not at 100%, so how might that factor in?
Well, you know, people talk about Justin Smith and how it affects Alden Smith, the great defensive end on the end. But it's one of those things where Alden Smith is going to have a good matchup. He's going to have to make plays. Can they still secure the middle of the field? Yes. In the end, they're at home. It's somewhat of a rematch. Prove your point. Burden of proof on the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, so 2 votes for the 49ers here. As for the Seattle-Atlanta matchup, Matt Ryan, he's 0-3 in the postseason. Before we get your guys' take on this, here's Steve Young on what he would say to Matt Ryan to get his first career playoff victory.
Well, if I could talk to Matt Ryan before his big playoff game to get his first win, I know it's a huge hurdle. I would tell him, you have, at a very young age, already jumped over a bunch of hurdles. You're good at this. You've run into this one that won't go down, but it will go down, and you'll force it down sooner or later. Just don't make it too big. Don't overthink it. Don't make it the boogeyman that you can't overcome. But clearly, it's about focus. It's about not listening to anybody else and going over that game plan, preparation, hold on to it tight, and make sure you go get this one down. But I would tell him, you've done this many times before, and you can do it again.
So a little pep talk.
I like that.
To Matt Ryan. However, Russell Wilson on the other side, he already has his first playoff win coming last week. So what must happen, Lomas, to get Ryan, get that goose egg off the board for him?
We all know that Seattle has a very physical defense, especially at the corner position. So I think what Atlanta has to do, get Matt Ryan some easy throws in the game. Meaning, use Jaquez Rodgers, use him on option routes, use him on screens, use Tony Gonzalez, use these guys early in the game, let your quarterback settle down, because as well as we know he hadn't played well in the postseason, you know Matt Ryan knows this. So you have to take some of those butterflies. You have to take some of that anxiety from your quarterback. So give him easy throws to start off the game, then open it up downfield.
Well, the Falcons need to start fast. You know, out of all the teams that are in the playoffs, this is the one team that has the most pressure, the most scrutiny based on their past performances. So the pressure is on them. Then you have a Seahawks team, a young Seahawks team that is traveling again to the East Coast. You know, how is that going to affect them? They have nothing to lose. They're not supposed to be there in the first place. And here comes this young quarterback who already has a playoff win. And you have Matt Ryan, who's 0-3 and has the worst QBR since 2008 at 28.3 for the postseason. So they got to start fast, because if they don't, and the Seahawks kind of get things going, that defense starts to feel themselves and pressure on the outside, I mean, as a player, you're starting to go, uh-oh. Here we go again. How are we going to get out of this?
And the other thing, Matt Ryan don't want that home crowd to turn against him either.
True. That's true. And you have no problems with dumping off to the tight end.
No, and I think Tony Gonzalez is going to be a huge factor in this game, by the way.
All right, let's switch over to the AFC. A couple of rematches from earlier this season here, guys. And let's begin with the Baltimore-Denver matchup. Peyton Manning, he has gone to wearing a glove on his throwing hand because of the cold weather. Again, here is Steve Young, a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he has a pep talk for Peyton here, but here's Steve Young on how effective he can be and play in this brisk Denver weather.
Well, a lot of concern about Peyton Manning playing in the cold. Certainly, everyone would rather play in the dome, especially when you're used to it like Peyton. But I don't think there's anything particularly, unless there's something physically wrong with Peyton, that would make him less able to handle the elements than anybody else from Baltimore or from Denver. I think he's one of the masters of the game. He's the one that can dictate the defenses. I think those defenses better hope that Peyton Manning just doesn't come on the field, because once he's on, in a blizzard, he's going to be better than anyone that they've faced. So to my mind, I am not concerned about Peyton Manning playing in any elements.
Okay, we always heard about how Brett Favre used to win in the cold weather. Well, Peyton Manning, the reversal of that. He has never won a playoff game played below 40 degrees, going 0-3 with just one passing touchdown versus 7 interceptions. Forecasts in Denver are calling for temperatures in the 20s. In fairness, though, Peyton hasn't played in a really cold playoff game since January of 2005. All right, so we've got that information there. Manning will, of course, be taking on a Ravens team that saw Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs both on the field for the first time all year in that win over the Colts. How do you guys think this will factor in the Ravens' bid as they try to upset Peyton and the Broncos?
Well, I know the good thing about Ray Lewis being out there, one, he's the quarterback of the defense. So you got a Peyton Manning that's going to sit there and audible and do different things, where you have a guy like Ray Lewis that can line his defense up in the position to be most successful. You look at a Terrell Suggs, much needed pass rush, because if they don't get pressure on Peyton Manning, he's going to stick back there and pick them apart.
You know, I think the Baltimore Ravens used a lot of their emotional fuel last week when they played the Colts, and that team as a defense was on the field a lot for an older defense. And the last time these two teams played, it was close until Joe Flacco threw an interception. But listen, for cold, hot, windy, it doesn't matter. This is Peyton Manning's big-time game in a new stadium. I think he completely uses every bit of his ability, all his receivers, his running game, both those backs had big games last time they played. But in the end, I think it's going to be too much for this Ravens team to go back-to-back against a physical, experienced team in Denver Broncos.
All right, as for the other matchup, the Patriots, of course, won last month over the Texans, 42-14. How do the Texans turn things around this time, if they can?
Well, to me, they have to be successful on first down. Look, first down results in being successful on third down. They weren't able to keep the chains moving. Houston wasn't. So, to me, you have to win on first down. Keep yourself in second or third and manageable positions. And then the other thing they have to do, Michael, they got to score touchdowns. Right. You can't get in the red zone and put up field goals and think you're going to be the Tom Brady and New England type of team. You can't do it. So they got to score a touchdown, maybe use Aaron Foster more, but they must win on third down.
Well, that's the key to the Texans' offense, and really their success is Foster. Can he get over 100 yards rushing? Can the Patriots neutralize J.J. Watt? And they did that the last time they played against the Texans. The last time these two teams played, nothing worked for the Texans. The Patriots got up on them really quickly, and they couldn't recover because Matt Schaub is not the quarterback to bring you back in the second half if you're down 2 touchdowns, 10 points. If the Patriots get up early, mentally, I think that the Texans just kind of pack it in because they know, based on the last time these two teams played, that they won't be able to make it up.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. All right, guys, good stuff. Lomas, Christian, stay right there.
All right.
We're coming back with more NFL talk coming up later here on SportsCenter. But right now,